Hey, this is Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today is Thursday, August 15th, and I have a very special episode for you. Today we have an interview with Justin and Tanner from the Earthlings, who go by Phase 1 and Spacebar. It's an honor to have them on Web3 Reviews to do this interview. Go check out their page on Gala Music. They have 3 songs available for sale: Fly Dreams, Profits Dropped, and Abort Mission, featuring Busta Rhymes. They're an awesome duo. I love the music that they've dropped thus far on Gala Music, and this was an epic interview. Give it a listen. Remember that none of this is financial advice. We have Tanner and Justin here from the Earthlings, Gala Music artists. So happy to have you with us.
It's a pleasure to be here, man. We appreciate it.
To get us started, tell me about how you two got into Gala and crypto.
I think I remember I came across a Jason Bitbender video once in probably like December of 2020, I think it was. Started, just the whole concept behind it, the NFT gaming, all that stuff really was super interesting to me. I had just probably earlier that year got brought into or learned about crypto. My brother-in-law told me about XRP. That was what first kind of opened my avenue to it, where I really kind of went down a rabbit hole and started learning like, this technology is pretty crazy actually. So interest peaked, learned about Gala, same thing, bought a couple of founders nodes. Probably, God, it was at like 1 cent when that happened. That was before the insane run we saw, all that good stuff. Paid attention through everything, watched what they were doing with Gala Music. Me and Justin reconnected on the music side of things, 3 years ago now at this point? 2 years ago? I've lost track.
About that, Tanner and I have known each other for a really long time.
And, yeah, about 20 years or so.
Yeah, and we've been making music together for a while. There's a number of chapters in our life that kind of separated things, but yeah, when we reconnected a few years ago, Tanner was putting me on to Gala. We've been kind of nerding out in different arenas on the work tip, but both really excited about technology, blockchain experience. My background's coming a little bit more through like immersive media and interactive technology. But we were both nerding out several years ago about what the future of this ecosystem could look like. What does that mean for fans? What does that mean for collectors? What does it mean for producers, musicians, and just allowing for like an entirely different ecosystem for artist to artist, artist to fan connectivity. And he was rapping about Gala back then, like a few years ago, really, when we first linked back up, 21 or something like that.
Rapping about it.
What's that?
You said rapping about it, like in songs?
No, not yet.
Just talking about it.
Oh, just repping it. Okay, all right,
yeah,
for sure.
Just like filling me in on the loop, because to be totally honest, like I just wasn't hip,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Tanner had a similar path to what you just described, kind of early adoption, and really kind of seeing that there's an opportunity to pave new paths, and that the ways, even today, the ways that it's working is just not working,
Right.
Just like with traditional distribution and what happens for the people that are making the art, So I think that as like entrepreneur, creator, people that try to look at things a little bit differently, there's a wave that seems to be cresting with Gala, with blockchain, and just kind of this new environment that has the opportunity to, just have positive outcomes for people, collaborators, contributors, the whole thing is pretty cool.
Agreed, man. And it's so epic to have you guys on the platform. Tell me more about how you guys got started. You said you've known each other for 20 years. It was always music-based, or what? Sorry to interrupt.
No, for sure. Yeah, it was pretty music-based when we met. We back in Savannah, Georgia, actually. I had moved down there. Prior to that, my degree was in music recording technology from a school in Madison. Went down in Savannah, kind of met up with Justin, and we just started making music together. We were kind of both at that point in life where, we were really on our own, just experimenting with music, kind of building out our studios, things like that. We had a good crowd around us as well of other people that were pretty creative and pretty regular on just getting in the studio and making music. So we had a good run of a couple of years there in Savannah where we were, it was a nightly thing, just hanging out, making music. hard drives were just filling with songs. Nothing that we really, we didn't have the wherewithal and the understanding and the business side of things on how to really get it out there as much as we could have. But we created a lot. And then, like Justin mentioned, there was a period there that we both kind of went different directions, and families, kids, careers, all that stuff happened for a while.
I was going to say, Savannah, I don't know if you know, Zach, but there's a college in Savannah, Georgia called SCAD. And SCAD is the College of Art and Design, international student body. It's crazy because it's in like the deep South, like Bible Belt. The vibe is wild, but it's like radically different than other places in the deep South because you have such this eclectic melting pot of art kids.
Right.
Everybody's there just like vibing out, wilding out, creative, like misfits, So we had that around us. That's what I was going to school there for that as a, visual effects guy and doing audio. And I remember taking student loan money and buying like an MPC and like a Korg Triton and like basically having like a little studio set up at the crib. And yeah, like Tanner and I linked up shortly after he moved there, and we just had like a crew around us. Then I think that we just I don't know, we both have a really hard work ethic, so we could burn all day on the school or the work shit and then still have enough gas in the tank to be like, all right, like let's bang out two new songs or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was just a constant thing, and it just kept in rotation for quite a while. And that's after I went to school. That's when I went at West. We were rapping before you jumped on, Tanner. I was at West for a while. Tanner hung out in Savannah, continued to do stuff, and then moved back to the Midwest where he's at right now.
Yeah.
So you guys are recording kind of asynchronously right now, sending each other beats, stuff like that.
Yep.
Tell me more about the Earthlings. Who's doing the production? Whose voice is on the beats? Would you guys call yourself rap artists? What would you guys say?
No more producers, as far as who's doing the producing. That's the fun part. It's a joint effort. When we reconnected a couple of years ago and we're like, let's make music again. That's kind of what it started as. Like, all right, I'll send you, I got some drum loops that I was working on, like add something to them, and upload it to Dropbox, wait a couple days, kind of that anticipation of like, all right, when am I going to get back? Send, load the file up and be like, yo, that's a banger. I'm hearing something else. Let me put something else on that. And then we were just pass stuff back and forth. And then the conversation kind of evolved like, all right, maybe we could do something a little bit more serious. Maybe we could put together an EP or, actually release a single or something like that. And that's where kind of Pandora's box opened and conversation started, which was a long one, man. It was probably over the course of a year of just talking about what would our names be. Space Bar, Phase One is where we ended up as producer names, Earthlings as the crew name. And it was fun because it was kind of like being a kid again, creating a project, having an open runway of what we wanted to do with our imagination. A lot of it kind of all went into all this new format and platforms and technology at our hands with blockchain. Like, we can really get creative nowadays. Let's have some fun with it, so that's kind of how it all started. As far as how we landed on Earthlings, I don't know.
I think I have an idea or a recollection, and it was essentially like we wanted to create a universe that could feel expansive, and we were really actually nerding out over the concept of some Web3 platforms which we could build upon and bring other friends into the mix that could feel expansive. And we got an ill project. We got some really ill music stuff happening right now, but we've been developing some shit with Unreal Engine.
Oh, wow.
We got I don't even know if I should be talking about it. It's super sick though. And
we're talking video game. We're talking Gala chain. What are we? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be on chain. I don't know, Tanner. I don't know how much we should be talking about. I don't know.
Well, no, it's cool. Yeah, no, like it's currently, the current platform we're building it for as the first one, but with hopes of kind of, especially being built in Unreal, being able to bring it to multiple projects that utilize Unreal. Are you familiar with Expector at all?
No, I'm not familiar.
Okay,
with
so they're on the XRPL currently.
Oh, wow.
I think possibly plans of going
Oh,
multi-chain.
I'm sorry, Expector.
Yes,
My
yeah, yeah.
brain didn't
Okay.
click. I always see them in
No,
writing.
all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, we've been, gosh, we're months into just a straight up metaverse kind of universe that's going to encompass this whole Earthlings thing that we've been dreaming of and building out. And the way we see it, it's the next evolution of study of us building a website. We're building a metaverse location that people can go into and experience. There's
On
not going to be
Expector.
yeah, with hopes to do it in other areas as well.
Nice.
Like I truly believe the future is going to be multi-chain.
Oh,
There's,
definitely.
you need to kind of have your cast your net a little wide, especially in this area. So yeah, no, it's.
But I think the name Earthlings though came from wanting to do something that felt like we could bring characters into it. Like with this last track that we released, we brought in some feature artists, and we got a bunch more stuff on deck that can just feel expansive into the universe that we're kind of creating. So yeah,
we want it to be down the road. Like we see it as more of a community-based type thing. We want it to be more of an ecosystem than just Spacebar and Phase One, continuing to kind of produce things with feature. We hope as we do that, others kind of come into the fold and it grows. That's another thing that we loved about Gala. I mean, it's a unique community, and a very loyal community and a very passionate community. It's just different than what you find nowadays. And
also, I was just gonna add to it. Like, I love the fact that it really is the intersection of a lot of different mediums as well. The fact that they're breaking into sound design and audio and film, and obviously the gaming aspect. It's like it's the intersection at all the right mediums. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, especially if that's like just that's the stuff we nerd out on. So it's like it's the holy grail of a sandbox to be able to play in if you're fortunate enough to be on that side of it. So yeah, it's super excited about it. It's got a ton of potential. It's new. They're figuring stuff out like everyone is. So it's been a super fun experience so far. We've met some awesome people from the artist side of things as well. Had a chance to chat with Allie from Love Crumbs for a minute. We chatted with Robot Clinic as well. I saw your episode you did with them. I did get their permission to drop the little teaser that we do have a collaboration coming out with Earthlings, Robot Clinic, and Allie's going to bless us with some vocals as well. So
no way.
Yeah, we're super pumped about that one. It's sounding pretty ridiculous. So
what's it going to be called? You guys got a name yet?
As of now, it's called Counting Backwards.
Counting backwards.
Counting backwards.
Counting backwards. Okay.
It's a working title, but very well may stick with that.
I like it, man. Well, I can't wait for that. Yeah. That's going to be incredible.
Yeah, we're pumped. Yeah.
Tell me more about how the Busta Rhymes feature came about. How did that? How'd you guys work that?
That was more so. I'm going to let Justin tell the origination of how that.
There's an A&R that we're connected to that represents a lot of different artists, and he's been able to basically open up his catalog of artists and material. And it's just something that we picked up that we were like, we really want, like, we've both been huge fans of Busta. Both of us actually started out as DJs when we were kids. So, picking up his early records back in the day was a thing,
Right, for sure.
He's just kind of been up at that apex of the mountain for so long. So when there was an opportunity to cop something from him and actually to build something out, that was something we were really excited about. We've been sitting on it for a while, and then brought in some other homies that Tanner kind of rolls with, and they kind of filled out the track. But yeah, huge blessing and gratitude to be able to, have somebody at that level. It's kind of just like mind blowing.
No, it's incredible, and the track sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm a proud owner of all three of your tracks, and I love what you guys are doing. I'm impressed to hear. Well, I'm very excited to hear that you guys just have a deep catalog waiting to be released on Gala. That's that excites
me.
Yeah,
for sure. We've got one that we're hoping we're good for approval coming out at the end of the month. Another one featuring Art of Three. They were the other group on the Abort Mission song, and we actually got a music video uploaded with on the platform as well for that one. And then we've got the vault on the back end, like Justin said, we've been kind of building for the past 3 years or so.
The
So
only
it's
thing, I don't want to be talking shit because I think the Gala's doing a pretty cool thing. The one thing I would love to see them do is more releases.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to see that because as an artist, like, we would love to be able to release more stuff through them.
Yeah.
And quite frankly,
for sure.
And quite frankly, I'm sure that a lot of other artists feel the same way. You know,
and that's one of those things where, like, because obviously it wasn't that when we first got accepted, we got accepted right before that kind of change happened. As soon as the 4 artists, the kind of beta portal became open, I told Justin, I'm like, yo, we got to apply. We applied, we got no response. Our application went into kind of like a black hole, and then it just disappeared. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try again.
Yeah.
We applied again, and luckily within a couple of days after the second application, we were accepted as artists, and we were super pumped about it. And then shortly after, we actually had like 4 or 5 tracks uploaded, kind of had talked about a release plan we were going to do. Shortly after we were accepted, they kind of pivoted to the 1 a month release schedule, and it's one of the, like I was saying, it's one of those things where there's no precedent for them to look back on and say, hey, this has worked, that hasn't worked, this has worked. They're playing in a brand new arena with no guidelines or previous guardrails to kind of rely on. So we've said this before, behind the scenes, like we give them the benefit of the doubt. The space is still new. It's still, but absolutely, as artists, we're chomping at the bit. We have, and I think that's what they're going for a little bit. They're trying to figure out a way to keep some sort of scarcity to it. But at the artist side of things, we have so much we're ready to release.
I mean, from an artist, but also just like as a listener, we go on, we kind of, oh shit, I had my mic on my, sorry about that. I don't know if you're hearing that sound come through.
It sounds good. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, we've all become so accustomed to like having an entire catalog of music at our fingertips when we listen to other, DSPs, right?
Right.
So and just I'm saying from like a fan perspective, that would be pretty fresh. And that's happening, as the catalog grows, it gets like a bigger, one way to, beef that out is by not throttling the releases. I'm not coming in here trying to talk shit, but
no, by no means. And we've seen it with Snoop got to release, or the Dog Pound released an album, right? And then Rakim dropped an album of instrumentals. So there's definitely been cases, and as they, it just doesn't make sense. 1 song a month. I'm sure it'll open up. Now, when you compare it to other blockchain music services, I'd say Gala Music's in a league of their own. The audience kind of, I can't speak to it. I'm not using it, but I know that a few artists have talked about it.
I got to hear, Zach, you seem really tapped in. Like you're clearly spending a lot of time paying attention, talking with artists, and probably peeking around the corner a little bit. What are you seeing in the space today? What are you anticipating tomorrow? And what are you getting really excited about with these platforms and these new techs?
So I'm really excited about the earning potential for artists and fans. I think that for me, you guys said it created a whole new way of fun when you guys were able to create this world, right? Like this was a fun project for you guys, and it kind of rejuvenated you in a sense, away from the mundane, like everyday life. When I was, 14 through 18, I was on Hot New Hip Hop, looking for music, Dat Piff, looking for mixtapes, right? That was a big time. It was 2014, Mac Miller was huge. I remember just finding new music was really fun. And that's how Gala Music makes me feel is even though there's limited releases every day, 4 new songs a day, I'm looking to get that #1 track, right? And I'm racing against other people who maybe are staking against the artist. That way they could get the pre-release. And there's, multiple variables that go into what songs I'm trying to buy, whether that's something that sounds good to my ears. Maybe it's something that I think is going to earn really well. Maybe it's something that I think is going to sound better to somebody else's ears. Because everyone has a different taste in music, and my taste in music is different than maybe what your guys' is, and there's definitely an overlap in that. But I'm really excited about the potential for kind of getting out of these walled gardens, if you will. I know we were talking about XRP earlier, and the music industry reminds me a lot of that banking industry and the fact that there's these huge players who get to keep people out, right? and they get to decide who the big stars are. I mean, we see that a lot today. People talk about industry plants, and there are people definitely propped up by the industry. And talking to artists here in this space, it made me really realize that being an artist is a lot of being a marketer. And whether you have a record label that's doing marketing for you, or whether you're doing the marketing yourself, it comes down to that, how many
Yeah,
people are you
100%.
talking to about your drops, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and that's I remember, going back to when me and Justin kind of had the conversation of like, all right, if we're gonna, really kind of get back into making music, let's do it for real. That was one of the first things we talked about. Like it's, it's branding and marketing just as much as it is the music. That's just as important. It plays just as much of a part, and as we kind of built this Earthlings universe out and continue to, it's at the forefront of, how we think about it, because all of that kind of plays into bringing this all together, like you said, and what Gala brings back that has definitely been zapped out by the Spotify libraries where any song is at your fingertips is the collectability. Like you mentioned, and same thing. I mean, I was born in the 80s, I remember having my parents drive me to the record stores, drive me to the mall so I could run into Sam Goody, and you're just waiting to go get the physical copy of whatever that release might be. Like that feeling, it was fucking amazing. It was awesome. It was just like, yo, I can't wait to get another one. I can't, like, there's so many I want to collect. Which one do I get next? How do I prioritize this shit? I want them all.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how I feel
Like
with the drops on Gala Music, It's
that's what I'm
only
saying.
had
And
more
that's what
funds.
it's been missing for so long. The new way that we consume music really zaps that out. And I feel like this new technology and Gala especially brings back that capability to have fun with it again, to have that collectible and anticipating the next drops. Like you said, it's been missing for a long time, and it'll take time to develop it correctly where it's nice and smooth and the masses can kind of come and plug and play very easily. But yeah, that's the part I think that excites me the most is bringing that back, because that was a feeling that you just really can't replicate. Whether it was music you were collecting or
I was even gonna like say like baseball cards and stuff.
baseball card. Yeah,
Like the
absolutely.
collectability, of having the collection and revering it, and having it maybe be worth you do your trades and all that. Like, yeah, there's something about that feeling that just feels so gratifying.
Gala adds on the whole layer that never existed before, where as you collect as a fan, you can actually earn and rewards, like, and obviously that system's gonna get its ironed out and has to get figured out as well. But just the concept in general, seeing it in play, seeing it unfold and actually work over a good amount of time now, that's extremely exciting too. Because that opens up a whole new way of thinking as an artist. It's like, well, if my fans can now share in the revenues of my projects, and I want to invest in one of my projects, and I believe one of my projects is really going to do well, my fans can share in that. We can think of whole new ways what that sharing is. How does it, there's the possibilities are just, it's limitless, which is really exciting.
You add in films and games too. I mean,
Yeah,
Razor was a great case study of how the music side will work out. People were very excited about that. I'd say that's the only sellouts we've seen in the last 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And, we didn't have that list of who the top 20 buyers was, which now we have. So every time
Yeah.
the first,
Yeah.
I would have been interested to see that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But no, it's all of it's hard not to get excited about it, no matter what side of the coin you sit on.
Right.
It really is like, I think the thing that I get excited about with the project Tanner and I we're working on, we referenced a little bit earlier with, Unreal Engine, being on a gaming engine. In a way, you're kind of gamifying the music collectability, you're
Mm-hmm.
gamifying the sales, you're gamifying the plays. And I think like we're conditioned, like that dopamine hit of the gamification process, like the design of that ecosystem from the Gala side is super tight. Because it kind of gets people to lean into it, and if you do, you get to scratch that itch a little bit more because it's because of the way the mechanisms work.
Yeah.
Super, super smart.
I've enjoyed being a part of Gala. Man, it's great interviewing you guys. Now, you guys have a drop coming up at the end of this month, you said. And what was the name of that one? You guys said Counting Backwards was the one with Robot Clinic and Ali M. And that's not this most recent one upcoming, but that's going to be a future
Correct.
drop.
Yeah, that's a future project coming out. The one coming up is called One Up. It's
One up.
featuring Art of Three. So,
Art of
like I
Three.
said, we'll have a music video dropping with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just your old school vibe,
Mm.
good feel vibe, hip
Boom
hop,
bap, boom bap,
your boom
hip-hop.
bap. Exactly. You know, like that's what always kind of hits us in the feels. Art of Three, they hit that vibe really well. So, you know, when they heard the beat the first time, they were quick to kind of have at it, and we were able to get the music video kind of done efficiently and quickly, and we want to do a lot more of those as well. So yeah, we're super excited about that one.
What were the visuals for the music video like? Production. Who was producing that in terms of you guys aren't in the same space? Where's Art of Three at? Where are they?
So
they're
Art of
local?
Three is also here in the Midwest with me.
Nice.
So that kind of worked out well. We were able to link up with them. You know, it was fun because we were able to do. They had a live show going at it was a charity event, but it was a skate park. So it was a skate event. So we had, you know, a ton of great footage. We had just things going on left and right. We were able to get them in a live setting. You know, they were able to kind of do some things for the song. And then we just hit the downtown area, got some shots down there.
Nice.
You know, kind of kept it old school vibe, kept it simple. But yeah, you know, it was a good time. It came together well, and we're pumped for everybody to check it out.
Man, I'm hyped to check it out as well. Do you have a date for it? How does that work with the drops? Does Gala give you a date a month in advance?
So yeah, if we uploaded early enough and you kind of, you know, within like, as long as it's roughly like 2 to 3 weeks out, you kind of pick your date. So right now our date is the end of the month, the 30th, is what we're aiming for. We usually don't get approval till a couple days before.
Mm.
I don't see any reason we wouldn't. You know, there's no featured license paperwork on this one or anything of that nature. So should be kind of a smooth approval process. But yeah, I think the 30th should be good to go.
And then talk to other artists out there or fans who may be wondering what this payment system is like for artists. I know, Northwest Store, we have recent artists who are joining and they have questions too, because, you know, your first drop, what happens next? Where does that money go? Talk to me about that. Compared it to Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Is this really a league of its own, or is it comparable?
Oh yeah,
or?
yep. Especially for the smaller artist, you know, because it takes a lot of streams to generate any sort of, you know, meaningful income on the traditional DSPs. Gala makes it really simple and really efficient, and that's been awesome. It's a 70-30 split with the platform, 70% to the artist, and paid out in fiat. Even though, you know, you're out there buying tracks and music, you get paid to your bank account, just straight debited to your account on a monthly basis, depending on what you got out there. So from that process, extremely
really friendly for artists. And
yes, yeah.
I think that it is going to lead the pack for some time. You know, hopefully other platforms catch on and kind of start to correct the wrongs that have been happening for years. But even if they don't, like, I think that this is the way that the future will kind of unfold for artists and makers. You know, having some type of a system that works in this way is pretty good.
And it should work in this way. I mean, it's such a big industry money wise.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
the creators they're doing the work. You know, it's that classic.
Right.
You know, the business owner versus the guys who are working. But in this sense, with the internet and now blockchain, the person doing the work can be the business owner easily, right? You don't need that record label holding your hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes the artist naturally want to invest more and reinvest more into themselves and what they're doing, and which is only going to make the product and the quality of everything better.
Too, right?
Yeah.
It doubles down on the communal aspect, and it removes that layer of kind of that oftentimes bigger artists that are put up on platforms that are represented by management and, you know, different layers upon layers upon layers, so disconnected from artists, and it's a different ecosystem that we're stepping into. Yeah.
Man, so it sounds like you guys are also onboarding other artists. Like, what's up with Art of Three? Are they going to be entering the artist portal? What's going on?
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, we've had that talk with them for sure. You know, the plan is, as we do this, you know, the beautiful part is being producers is we're always looking to work with people on features. You know, so anyone that's looking to, you know, a vocalist, an MC, whatever it might be, our genres might be hip hop, but we make all sorts of music, and we just love making good music with good people. But yeah, we had that conversation with them. Like, let us do some, you know, do a feature with us. We'll drop it through us, learn what the platform's about, kind of sit back and watch it how it works, and they're getting just excited as we were, as they kind of see it, just the potential in it, and they've been making music together for 20 years, so they've been able to see all sorts of different ways to go at this. They're all about it, yeah, and we're hoping that's the first of many. Hopefully we can get them into the artist portal soon, and then as our network continues to expand, we're able to do more. Even getting the app into people's hands. I can't tell you how many people I have, friends, family, other artists, like, just download the app. There's so much good music on there you guys are gonna like. And as a lot of it goes more exclusive to the platform, you know, you're only gonna find it there. So yeah, I think I've been able to, probably get 40, 50 people downloading the app just from texting from my phone. So yeah, it's going to grow. I think it is. The feedback from everybody, whether it's been the artists that we've worked with or the, just friends and family and people that have downloaded the app, is, wow, this is awesome. Didn't know this existed. This is pretty dope. So
hey, are you guys going to be performing at all? Do you guys have any of that on your future plans?
not as of now. No,
No.
I don't.
That's
It's
fine.
yeah. No, we're both. I run a business as well as the day job, and got a family and 3 kids, and I'm stretched pretty thin. My weekly schedule can be a circus act at times, which is all good. It's just all good. It's just in the thick of things in life. And for what we're doing and how we're looking to build, I don't foresee it being necessary from
Mhm.
our end of things. Like, for people we're working with, like Art of Three, they're performing regularly. And that's kind of our hope, is that the more the vocal artists we work with are kind of in that phase out there, getting busy out in the live events, and that'll help, hopefully our reach grow a little bit as well.
Makes sense to me. And then with the metaverse projects too, I guess that's a place where the
Yes.
performances could occur.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be more up our alley, and that's kind of, as we build this, an event space is a big focal topic of and piece of that puzzle. I think that's got a lot of potential as well.
I love it. I love it. Well, hey, I want to say thank you guys so much for your time. We have the Earthlings here, Justin and Tanner, family men, producers, business owners, Gala music artists, entrepreneurs. It's awesome getting to connect with you, and I can't wait for what you guys have coming. You guys are killing it, man. Seriously, thank you for coming
Hey
on
man,
here.
no, we appreciate it, and right back at you. Like, love the content, keep it up. Like I mentioned, I think I messaged you. It's right up my alley. Those are 3 of my bigger holdings. So I love when the videos come out. But yeah, man, definitely. Hopefully we get to do this again. Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it, and appreciate the support, especially as a fan and an Earthlings holder.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Thank you guys again, Justin, Tanner. Until next time.